Hey guys, it's Tish from Python Spawn. This is my first YouTube video, officially. I do have 2 other ones from my first egg cutting, but this is my first official one. I hope you guys like it. I put as much as I could in it, and hopefully I'll have quite a few more videos on the way. Comment below if you like it. Alright, time to get to work. Life of being a ball python breeder. Check on the animals, make sure they're okay in the snowstorm. Alright. Seems like it's a cozy 77 degrees. So, might need to turn that up a bit. But in the meantime, still pretty good. How are everybody doing in here? You good, girl? Yeah, you're alright. Oh, look at that. Someone looks uncomfortable. Poor girl. Hello, sweetheart. How are you doing today? We'll come back to you. Oh, that's my big girl. Who's a good girl? Let's check on you. Hello, sweetie. You looking big? Leopard. Hello, sweetheart. I think everybody's pretty good today. Hello, sweetheart. Deep in blue. Oh, somebody shed bad. We'll clean you up, we'll clean you up. Poor girl. Hi, sweetie. So as you can see, some of them having a little bit of a shedding problem. Pretty much like to start this channel with as honest as I can possibly be. So I built this, and I haven't gotten the humidity down fully yet. So I did order the wrong humidifier. Yeah. And we'll fix the humidity problem. That's one of about 4 snakes that shed wrong. So I'm going to help her shed later on in this. I just want to take a look at one of my het clowns. Let's see how they're doing. Oh, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. Hello, sweetheart. Let's move this out the way. You're looking uncomfortable, baby girl. What's the matter? I'm gonna check those follicles today, right? That's a good girl. And that's another thing we're gonna do today. So, I'm gonna get into a little bit of a explanation on how I started breeding ball pythons. I think the fan is a little loud. And then I'm going to introduce you to, or more of a explanation on my first clutch and what I expected out of this season. And then I'm going to ultrasound a few females and help one of my, well, actually all of my snakes that need to shed properly shed. So, catch you then. So, before we get started, I guess I'd like to tell you why I decided to be a ball python breeder. Well, it was interesting, actually. I've loved animals in general for most of my life, like every other animal lover, ball python breeder. Everybody has the same story. I guess I liked reptiles more. I've always loved them. Steve Irwin was definitely my first inspiration. And when I was younger, I moved to Florida for a couple years, and I just loved seeing the little lizards, and anywhere you went there was iguanas or snakes, geckos, anything you can think of, alligators, anything you can think of, they were there. And I'm not a particular Florida fan, you can say, for other reasons. I'm actually not really warm climate type of person. I don't really like it very much. But I did love the wildlife. Always have. Most of my family still lives there. I'm currently in New York. I've been in New York for 10 years, but ball python breeding. So, I had my son. Before I had my son 4 years, about to be 4 years ago, I had a bunch of animals. I've went anything from dogs, cats, small animals, reptiles, horses from when I lived in Virginia. I was helping taking care of, I would help take care of horses. Taken numerous classes, small animal care, equine studies, basic veterinary care. I've shadowed vets. I've pretty much done so much. I've shadowed vet techs. I've fostered at animal shelters. I've shadowed farmers. I was in the FFA, Future Farmers of America. Yeah, I know. But I was a speaker. But my dad got me my first snake when I lived in Virginia. And it was kind of a coping mechanism, I guess. I went through a lot of stuff when I was younger. And I just fell in love with snakes. They were moody. I had my first snake was a ball python. And she was kind of moody. But there was just something about them. I don't know. It kind of reminded me of me, I guess. Loners. A little bit cold-blooded. Have an attitude. I don't know. I just identified with them, I guess. And before I had my son, I used to have a bunch of them. I used to work at a pet store as well, a reptile store, Jungle Bob's Reptile World, before I joined the military. And obviously, when I joined the military and before I had my son, I just wasn't able to do exactly what I wanted to do with animals. I wasn't in the right state of mind. I was not financially stable enough to have as many animals as I wanted, like I am now. So I left animals, even though I had them throughout the years. I kind of left the whole wanting to be my passion, I guess, and doing that for a living in the past. And when I did end up having my son, I got rid of everything before I did. First time mom, I didn't know what to expect. But that longing for them came pretty quickly afterwards. After he was about 2, I decided to get my first ball python again. And a couple months later, I decided to breed. Funny enough, it was a video from Mutation Creation. I knew there were breeders, but I just didn't realize that you could do it as a hobby or for a living, or just do it because you want to. And I saw him doing his egg cuttings, and I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I would love to do something like that. I'd love to produce my own animals. And a want turned into a need, and a need turned into a hobby, and a hobby turned into whatever the heck this is now. I did end up about 10 months after, because I did this. I started ball python breeding January of 2022. I brought my first ones quarantine, paired, and all that. And by October, I built this. And this is a 10 by 14 shed in my backyard. Fully insulated, heated, and still working on the humidity. But I did have a humidifier, but it was the wrong one. It has warm mist instead of cool, and I didn't know that. I realized that was the wrong one when I started to get mold not mold, but there was wet spots everywhere. You would see it on the base of the shed. You would see it build up, the water droplets, and I was like, okay, if this continues, there is going to be mold. So I decided to stop that for a while, see if I can do it by just having open containers of water. And I had that up there for a while. It wasn't working as good as it should have been. The snakes started to shed wrong. When I first put them in, they were shedding fine. And I think I did order one, but I just needed the cool mist instead of the warm mist. So that's on its way. I'll have that this week. And then everything in here should be somewhat in working order, perfect. I'm still going through my, growing pains of doing everything out here. I do have my quarantine animals inside the house still. Currently it's only 2, but I do plan on having more out there. In there, sorry. But my quarantine, I did learn a lot from quarantining too. I have quite a few stories from before when I didn't realize quarantining was such a big thing. Now, I wouldn't imagine bringing an animal in here that I didn't know, like, where it came from. The only person I personally feel safe with bringing anything in here is Designer Balls, because I work for him and I clean his cages. So I know exactly what goes in there. I know exactly what comes out of there. I know how he takes care of them, and everything is pristine. So whenever he gives me anything, which he has, I've bought quite a few things from him. Whenever he gives it to me, he goes straight into the racks. No, nothing like that. I fully trust him. So if I saw anything fishy, he would tell me. I would tell him. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a background. I know it's kind of scattered. I'm a little nervous. I don't do the talking in front of camera thing very often. So hope you kind of understand why I'm in this. It's always been a passion of mine. I just had the means, opportunity, and funds to do it this time. I love doing it. It keeps me going. I've gotten the weirdest, I guess you can say, expressions or the weirdest comments about what I do. Obviously, you'll probably see it on my Instagram. A lot of my friends make fun of me. Military guys. Not very subtle. They're not known for subtlety. But it's okay. I love it. They know I love it. They bust my chops, but I really do. I love it. Hopefully I get better at this and I'm not so nervous next time. And I guess now I'm going to get into ultrasounding and my humidity, more in depth with my humidity issue, and my first clutch and how I bred my first clutch. I told you it was a quarantine breed, so that was interesting. And I guess we'll talk then. So, I'm not super familiar about the ultrasound. I've done it a few times. It's, well, more than a few times. I practice as much as I possibly can, but it's still kind of hard for me to distinguish what's internal organs and follicles. I do learn a little bit from Rob from Designer Balls. I work for him, and he's taught me so much stuff. But he can't seem to explain this part a lot to me. So, I am gonna try to do this as simple as possible with one of the girls I think could possibly be gravid or about to be gravid. So, let's take her out. First, before I get into that, she's actually the first ball python that went for me last year. She's a visual albino, and she gave me a bit of a surprise clutch last year. Like I said, I just started, so I had I still don't really have that much knowledge, but I really had no knowledge back then. And she just came home one day and she had eggs. First time mom, 4 eggs, 4 healthy eggs. She was paired to this guy, actually. Let me see if I can get him out. Hey, sweetheart. To this guy. Mahogany 100% het albino. And his name is Zombie for a reason. He's not the nicest in the world, but he had kind of a dramatic story. I got him, and he actually had pneumonia. So I took him to vet, and he was off food for a really long time. He wouldn't eat for me. But he bred. Before I knew he was sick, he bred. He only was with her one time, and he managed to get her. So he's a sweetheart now. I don't know what changed. I guess he's not sick anymore, not grumpy, but sweet snake, great breeder. And I'll show you his offspring that he produced. There you go, baby. So if you don't know, he was bred, like I said, a visual albino. He was bred to a visual albino, this girl. Take her out for you. I mean, most people know what a visual albino looks like, but come here, baby. She's my favorite girl. She is such a sweetheart, and she's the one that we will be ultrasounding today. She's gotten very big, much bigger than last year when she only had the 4 eggs, and her babies, she ended up having 2 mahogany het albinos, and I'm not exactly sure what the other 2 were, because, relax guys, because one's well, they're both paradoxes, but one is like a decent paradox, so it happened to have it on the head, and I know that mahogany albinos, they have darker heads, but this girl, they're both girls, so I had the 2 mahogany het albinos and the 2 mahogany albinos. The visuals were female and the males were the hets. Beautiful snakes. Just can't figure out what they are. So this is the paradox that I told you about. You see, if you look close, she has a darkening of the head, but then she also has the albino white. I'm not sure if it's the paradoxing or if it's... I'm not sure. If I were to guess, she would be a mahogany albino, but I'm not 100% sure. I've asked a few people. They said to mark her as mahogany, but we'll see. We'll prove her out when she's older. She's obviously a holdback. My first visual and my first clutch ever. There you go, sweetheart. So that was my first clutch from last year from that mama. And she's showing signs that she's building follicles. So I'm going to take her back out. Let's see if she'll let me ultrasound her. Come here, big girl. Good girl. Alright. So, this girl has never even lunged, even when she had her clutch. It was not hard to take them away. She's just the sweetest snake. I only had 2 clutches last year, so. Well, let's go. Let's do this. Come here, baby. Get it there a little bit closer. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, wait. There they are. Pretty big, too. Oh, that's them. I could only read it. This is what I feel like I should have gotten the, Yep, that's them. Oh, yeah, she has, 1, 2, 3. Wow. So I just wanted to count, and it looks like 1, 2. Hey, Mama. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Let's see. Let's measure that. I don't know if you can see that. Yep. Looks like she's about 21 millimeters. Not bad, not bad. It's a pretty good start. Really good start, actually. I'm gonna clean her up a bit and put her back. And what I'm gonna do is kind of show you what I was taught. I'm just palpating her. This is my first time actually doing this. One, 2, 3, 4. Feels like 4 again. Well, I can't be 100% sure. 1. I think. Well, she's muscling. I can't really get her to do that. She's muscling on me. One, 2, 3, 4. You know, she's pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 4 or 5. 4 or 5. Good girl. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, I thought she was going to give me more this year, but that's okay. She's still new at breeding. And hey, she might surprise me. Who knows? Can never guess these things. So let me set up for the next girl. Now this next girl, she's not nice. But we're gonna try to get on her good graces. I'll try to palpate her first instead of going straight to ultrasound. And I'll be back when that starts. I did Sarabi's, which is my albinos, and I did Khaleesi, which is my vanilla pastel NG. So Sarabi looked like she had 21 millimeters, and she looked like she had 4 or 5 eggs in there. I couldn't get a number for Khaleesi, my vanilla pastel NG, but she definitely had some pretty big follicles, like ready to have an ovulation type of follicles. So it was 35 millimeters. So, and I could feel them when I was palpating her, so that's good. That means she's gonna go for me this year. Oh, I hope. Fingers crossed. She's gonna go for me this year because she didn't go for me last year. So this next girl is my het clown, and she is 66% het albino. And she was bred to my leopard pinstripe 100% het clown boy. And we'll see. I'm going to palpate her real quick, and we'll see if she's gonna give me anything this year. This will be my first time with her. I think she's a first time breeder as well. I got a bunch of these when they were a little younger, so. Wow, if these are follicles, they seem pretty big. Really big. Alright, I feel like 4 or 5 pretty decent sized ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5. And they're big, so let me ultrasound her real quick. Again, this is my het clown, 66% het albino. And we're just gonna see how she's doing. I felt some pretty big follicles, so. Oh yeah. Look at that. Really big. I'm not even 100% sure. She might have even ovulated. I'm not sure. I didn't personally see the ovulation, but holy moly, those are big. Yeah, these are 35.1 centimeters. And the other one was 37. So she definitely has pretty big follicles. Good. I hope I get my first clowns this season. That'd be really nice. I don't actually have a visual clown. All of my clowns are hets. And I did that on purpose because I wanted to make my own. And hopefully I am. Even if it's one, I don't care what kind. Normal, regular clown, or leopard clown, pinstripe clown, leopard pinstripe clown. I don't care. As long as I get a clown, I don't care. So, I'm super excited about that. So, quick update. So, remember the humidity problem that I told you guys about? Yeah. Hopefully I fixed it. I think I fixed it. There that is. Let me actually camera around. So I decided to go with the Pure Guardian. It's pretty good. I can adjust the humidity. I can make it go a lot faster, a lot more, like that. But I like to keep it somewhat in that area. Just easier. It's not, doesn't like over condensate the walls. So that's how I like to do that. That was a quick update on that. And other than that, I think their shedding problem is getting better. Or better altogether, because I did check out a few and they had a complete sheds. I forgot who. So after I did the new humidifier, there was one of my snakes that was in shed right when I put it up, and he did shed really good. He shed really good. It was in one piece. And it's my butter double het clown, Desert Ghost. And as you see, he did pretty good. He's a little youngster, but he did really good. No shedding issues at all. So it's getting better. This was the Mahogany Albino that had stuck shed, and all better. All better. So there's the Super Russo that had stuck shed. All better now. Hey, Mama. Who's a good girl? All better. So, oh, my bad. Where you going? Where you going? Huh? So that's the end of my first vlog. I want to thank you guys for watching. I know it was a little long for our first video. I am still nervous, so hopefully it gets better over time, and I'll be able to talk more freely without so many mistakes. As you saw, I had quite a few mistakes on this first video, and it's kind of mixed up and jumbled up, and I didn't know exactly how to keep the topic. There was just so much going in my head, and I appreciate you guys staying and watching for the entire duration of the video, and I promise next time it'll be a shorter video with more to topic and much more organized, I promise. So thanks for coming on to Python Spawn channel. Hope to see you soon.